What I'm starting with this time is a ground, which is just acrylic, raw sienna really, on a white pre-primed canvas. And I've just done a simple but reasonably accurate pencil drawing. Some burnt umber is a little bit of solvent, so that's like a Gamsol. Quite good to keep these edges a bit fluffy, so that if you can control how light or dark this is quite effectively. With a little, I might just pick up a little bit of white in it, just reasonably thin, just to get some of that in. Without getting too specific. You can see why the palette's so important. Feels like we could put in more of a general sort of a light. Variety and a bit of a sense of potentially some. In this case, more blue and orange in the sky anyway. Okay, maybe those are a bit have more of a sense of this being hair on these edges. On just in certain places maybe. Okay, so let's mix up a palette of flesh colours. I have a range from sort of purple through a sort of more neutral to a sort of more orange, just in my shadow colour. That's a general light. Now, is it too light? And this would effectively be getting towards the highlight of the skin. We can easily mix, here we could mix a half tone that's between our light and our pretty purpley half tone. If you know where you are on your palette, then you're incredibly free. This is really the top of this eye is up here. Okay, so I mean, this whole painting is going to be about that eye. I'm always obsessed with this Rembrandt self-portrait for so many different reasons, but one of them is the eye. This edge is much too hard. That edge there needs to be much softer. Color mixing really should be easy. It's really one of the easiest parts of painting once you know a few little basics. Just in here. And by thinking in terms of these shapes and tones and colors and edges, we become aware of what it is we like about a lot of painting in a very painterly way. So the difference between a sort of, well, what should we say a David Hockney, sort of pop art, David Hockney, very, very, very crisp edges. And then if you go to something, the complete opposite of that would be somebody like Mancini. Some people would want to blend this. They would want to do all sorts of different things, and you can do it if that's what you like. Or you can tile paint on without, have very separate brush strokes. Once you really are thinking in terms of shapes, tones, colors, and edges, all sorts of things open up. And it's very sort of rosy and purple and all sorts of wonderful things. Let's just see if we've got something that we can use. I have got my lights and moving through these beautiful different halftones into my dark. So I do know roughly, even with a palette that's not perfect, it's you can see that it's a lot better than not having your palette organized at all. And this is actually going into actual shadow of the hair here. These here are bits of shadow of the hair. I'd say that because of the camera angle, the painting, as you're looking at it, looks a lot more elongated, a lot taller than it actually is. See if we can get into some of these, not the lights, but it's not, it doesn't feel too bad. So it's a hard thing. I like that stroke, but is it just too abrupt at the end? Perhaps. And then you finesse it and destroy it, but maybe that's better. Warm and relatively light, reflected light that I'm picking up here. Put a bit more of it on. Just put it down here. Link it up. Now that I've got this beautiful transitionary tone, I think this will fit in well here. I really do. Something more of a shadow just right under that ear, because that's just something like that. Almost, this really is drawing. I'm going to make it lighter at least inside that. Nice. Is this going to be made way too purple? Run up to about there, I reckon. A bit there. And a bit there. Here. Isn't that beautiful? Little bit of colour in there. Something a little rosier. We're going to find this along here, like that, is going to be right on this corner of this nose, and that is about there. For me, it's very important to have some sort of painterliness in the painting. That's all about putting down fresh paint and just, you know, kind of leaving it. That's nice. That's nice just to soften that. But let me just see if we can actually get some of that color in there, or if it becomes too light. Maybe it just needs a little hint of definition just up here. It's sort of like, you know, if you imagine that's a circle if you're looking straight on it, but if you roll it, it becomes an ellipse. Right, so that iris is like that if you're looking straight at the eyes, but we're not. We're looking at the eyes like that. Shadow. But then, very quick, so lighter and bluer. I don't think it's, well, it's certainly good enough to have a little bit of a look. This is where I want the lightest light to be, just there. I think it actually comes in about here. Actually, can I cheat it over a bit? Put it about there. Out here. Yeah, okay. If you'd like to see a full version of this video, please go to my website. You'll also find other portrait and landscape painting videos, as well as my complete painting course, which is over 15 hours of theory and demonstrations of tonal paintings, color mixing, and a complete still life painting. So please check that out.